This is Bitcoin's very real chance to break out. I'm actually loving what we're seeing here. It's exactly what we were expecting. We knew the deal, all of the support had a chance to catch up to the trend, and we are now seeing all of that come into fruition, which is absolutely beautiful. If we zoom in onto the hourly time frame, you can see just how beautiful this little rally has been. Now, obviously, we've had rallies like this already, so it's too early to be getting excited. We haven't even cleared the high yet, which is the most important thing to do, as we know very, very well. But I'm not too worried about that. I still think that we've got a decent chance of doing so. Of course, what we do need to keep in mind is that anything below this high is still going to be premature celebration. So let's not get too carried away with ourselves, but I do want to break down for you why I think we could be doing well. And, one of the things that I actually found really interesting before I carry on here is that, we've seen quite a lot of progress across the altcoin market in this, with what we're seeing right now. Ethereum has gained a lot of strength against Bitcoin. Yes, it's also lost a lot of strength, but it's overall setting a consistent pattern of higher lows, assuming we punch in a low somewhere here, and also higher highs. But we've also seen Bitcoin's dominance do some really interesting stuff as well, right? Overall, Bitcoin's dominance is continuing to fall, but again, generally, by the looks of it, setting lower highs and lower lows. So this is certainly looking like there's a lot of optimism in the markets, and we know why this is happening, right? I mean, it's a Monday. Yes, tomorrow's 4th of July, but it is a Monday, and the US markets are still looking very, very strong. So that is obviously, I think, translating over to Bitcoin. Here's the dollar just, not picking up any strength. So, it's no surprise here that Bitcoin is continuing to rally up just as I speak, getting very close to its highs for today's trading session. And this is all it takes, is clearing this high right here. This is where a lot of eyeballs are going to be. If we do clear this, then one of the things that I am going to bring to your attention is just over these last few days, we've seen a long short ratio that generally has been leaning, with more shorts than longs, and we're seeing that right now as well. So, 0.99 longs for every short. It's pretty even right now, but over the last kind of week, we've seen it. If you have been subscribed to the YouTube channel, you've seen this quite clearly on the ffly's dashboard, is that we have had definitely, more shorts in this market than longs, and the thing is that if we do start kind of clearing these longs, one of the things that you really have to consider very carefully is that is, I think, going to result in a lot of these short positions closing, right? Like if you've been actively selling Bitcoin, and entering short positions, anticipating that the price is going to come down, and then the price just sweeps the high, what's going to happen to those traders? You got to think like they're going to start panicking. It's going to become quite a big mess, to be honest. There's a lot of shorts piled up over here, and by the way, rightly so. We know that this is a critical area of resistance, but we also just know that the market's coming at it with a lot of strength. We retraced, we had a very long retracement. It took 60 days. We fell down by 20%. We checked every box for a healthy trend so far. So yes, it is still resistance, and rightfully so. There's a lot of shorts, but that's exactly what makes the potential breakout even more explosive, because again, if we do start seeing these shorts start closing, what do you think is going to happen, right? If you're not familiar with the mechanics, then I'll break it down for you. The only way to close a short position is to buy back your Bitcoins. And when you buy, you're pushing the price up. So that's what we call a short squeeze. And I think that's exactly what we're going to be seeing if we start, just skyrocketing above this resistance area. And again, this is where things get really, really interesting for people like myself who are leverage traders in this market, because there is nothing that should really stop Bitcoin, as far as I can see, until we get to like the $34,000 level. I mean, take a look at, where a lot of these key reversals have taken place in the market. I've already shown you this many, many times if you've been watching this channel regularly. There is very good reason to believe that we just go all the way up to this yellow line, because this is where a lot of the reversals start to happen, But even then, I mean, and I'm being generous here, even then, we could go as high as, even $39,000 if we wanted to. The point is that if we are able to break this little block of resistance that we're facing right now, like that is it. We're looking at really big moves, at least 10-11%, if not 17, if not even 41,000 being my ultra high target right here, and that is an extremely exciting proposition for me. So you guys already know the deal. I'm trading these markets on the best platforms that are out there. BingX and Bybit are definitely two of my favorites right now. BingX because there's no KYC, which means no pictures of yourself or your ID, and as you know very well by now, you can trade all of these other markets. You've got stocks, Forex, indices, all available to trade commodities as well, but I can't show you that for some reason. Actually, now I can. I just have to scroll. I don't know why they don't have a good scroll function here. All with leverage, all with a Bitcoin deposit, no KYC. So extremely flexible, great for people that are a little bit more privacy minded. And Bybit remains the best exchange in the market. You already know the deal, no intro needed, up to 30K in straight cash that they're going to give you. So depending on how much you deposit using my link, depending on how much you trade with, they're going to give you up to $30,000 in free trading capital. Anything you would do with that is yours. You can withdraw it. You can withdraw any profits you generate. So absolutely beautiful offer there. And like I said, just breaking that high is all it takes. And we actually, I mean, it's looking so bullish right now on the daily time frame. I think we're actually just pushing the high as I speak to you guys right now. And again, the reason that this would be a really big deal is because if we do actually look at this on, like, for example, the hourly time frame, we haven't actually even gotten this high basically since the day that we set the high, which is now 10 days ago, right? And so one of the things I was talking to you about in yesterday's video is that, you know, previously we had an area of generally quite low volatility, right? I mean, if you look at the kind of volatility we had here, this was within 8 days, we pumped up by 26%. And, you know, over here within 60 days, we didn't even drop down by more than 21%. So, you know, that really shows you that we were moving really, really slowly here. And that's what I'd call an area of low volatility. And what you know very well, if you've been watching me for a while now, is that when you leave these areas of low volatility and you enter these areas of higher volatility, typically any consolidation pattern that we have is going to be pretty quick, right? So I've given you the example here yesterday where this consolidation lasted like less than a day. This one maybe like a day and a half or something, doesn't really matter. This one was 10 days. And again, rightfully so. It's the $31,000 level. Of course, we're expecting it to be a strong, formidable area of resistance, but that's what makes this all the more interesting, is that now we've had our consolidation. We are making a very real attempt to the upside. And just yesterday, guys, I also told you guys that one of the best things you want to see is that we set a low and then we sweep that low. We fake out. We actually had a chance to come all the way down here, but the bears didn't take it. The bulls stepped back in. And so that tells us we've very, very nicely tested the downside. And this is just how it goes, right? You test the upside, then you test the downside, then the upside, then the downside, then the upside, then the downside. And now we're testing the upside again. But the difference is that we are putting up a very, very good fight compared to our previous attempts, which is definitely why this is starting to look very, very impressive. So if we are able to now, after this 10-day period, you know, kind of pierce that high, I think that's it. You know, we've had our consolidation. We don't need to hang about here for any longer. You know, of course, there's always the possibility that this is just going to be one ridiculous long squeeze and we're going to fake out up here and then come back down. And you know, that's just the love language of Bitcoin, right? Deviations are Bitcoin's love language right now, as you know very, very well. And so, you know, that's just one of those things that we might have to expect. And that's why, you know, even though I'm still in my long position and I'm sitting basically right at the top here, I'm actually curious, like, where is my profit in this position? Because I have been keeping you guys updated on how this position has gone. I've already made over $200,000 on this position, which is absolutely beautiful. And if I do just bring it up here, 450% profit. That is absolutely beautiful. Take a look at that right there. I don't know if you can see that. Focus for me, iPhone. No focus. Can't see that. Sorry, guys. 450% profit. I tried. I want to give this one more try. This is too impressive. This is really hard because I've got to yeah, fuck this. It's not happening. It's not happening, but very, very cool. 450%. I wonder if I'll feel like this when I look at my firstborn child, the love I'm looking at this with. Fuck's sakes. This is going up on YouTube. Fuck it. I don't care. You know, and so, you know, for people that are in these long positions, obviously, you know, you're going to be, you know, still aware of the risks of, you know, getting faked out and stuff like that. But that's why, you know, with any position, you're exercising good risk management. You're making sure that you don't trade with too much money and that you don't do anything stupid. And, you know, obviously that is a critical component of trading in these markets. You know, you can have the right idea, you know, 5-10 times in a row, but, you know, you can just keep getting fucked because sometimes you just get unlucky, you know, or sometimes whatever, the market's manipulated or whatever the case may be. And, you know, if you had the right idea, but you put too much money behind it and then it screws you over, you know, you really don't want to be in that position. That's a position of incredible weakness. It's a really, really bad position to be in, and you'll just kind of set yourself back. You know, I think one of the things that people just don't understand in these markets is that time really is money. This is the place where, you know, time and money correlate the most, where if you're losing time, you're losing money. And if you think of it this way, it's because, as far as I've seen, I've been in these markets for 6 years and I've seen a lot of fucking scammers and I've seen a lot of legitimate traders, and there is no way to very, very quickly make money. You know, you certainly can if you know, have insider information or get super, super lucky or whatever, but generally the kind of trading that you and I are trying to do, you know, we have a lot of control of what we're doing, but at the same time, it's gonna, you know, you're not just gonna, you know, 10x your account in a month, right? And so, you know, when you understand that you're gonna have that kind of grind up and you're gonna aim for these 30%, 20%, which by the way are fucking amazing profits, but whatever, you know, some people are gonna, you know, just shrug it off. You know, when you're making those kind of gains, it will take you time, you know, and if you kind of roll the clock backwards because you keep exercising bad risk management, you know, you can blow up your account like that, like in terms of like dropping it. But you know, to make money is definitely a lot harder, and I think that's where I think a lot of people do start making mistakes here. So as always, the risk of a fake out is going to be something which I'm going to stay well aware of. And, you know, if something like that did end up happening, you know, where the price kind of comes up here, tags these highs, and then, you know, drops back down, you know, that could basically be the end of this bull market. And, you know, Bitcoin has, uptrend, and Bitcoin has done that quite a few times already. So I do want you guys to stay, you know, very, very aware of it. But it's just not the thing I'm going to be worried about right now, because, you know, we are in an uptrend, right? So if you start sweeping highs, if you start, you know, consolidating, and then, you know, it's almost like a cup and handle, right? Like we form the big cup right here. We form a little handle, you know, and the reason that these cup and handles are very attractive patterns is because it shows you that we've had our first attempt. You know, we tried, we failed, but then we came back up after a really long time. And the second time, we didn't have to consolidate for long. We didn't have to pull back very much because we already had the big pullback right here. So we didn't have to get another big pullback. We just got a little one. And then the little one is enough because we had a big pullback with a little pullback now. So cup and handle, very, very reliable pattern, because it just tells us about psychologies of the market, right? I mean, you know, a lot of people are going to be super, super bearish during this downtrend. And of course they were, especially at the bottom, because they're fucking idiots. But anyway, that's why you have this YouTube channel, to save you from that stupidity in these markets. So you can actually make money, legends. So if you do appreciate that, do me a favor and smash up the likes. You already know the deal. And, you know, if you are going to be one of those people that, you know, were perhaps a little bit more fearful on, you know, this drop down, you now have way less reason to be fearful, because all of the reasons that Bitcoin is beautiful are going to start coming to light again. The fact that Bitcoin has been in an uptrend for a very long time, the fact that we've had a really nice pullback, and then another really nice pullback, and then another much shallower but very useful pullback as well. You know, it's got the right setup. Again, that doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it certainly does mean that the chips are, in my opinion, stacked in our favor. Ethereum is starting to wake up as well. You know, Ethereum, like I showed you earlier on in this video, has gained a lot of strength against Bitcoin here, and it still hasn't had its big breakout yet. I don't know if it will. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed, but you know, Ethereum typically does follow Bitcoin, maybe a little bit slower, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. Ethereum is actually getting smashed against Bitcoin, you know, over the last few weeks here, and now finally starting to pick up some strength, and not a little bit, right? I mean, this is, you know, 6.5% within only like 3 days. Certainly, you know, something which is important to keep in mind, because this is Ethereum against Bitcoin, right? So we keep in mind, Bitcoin has been rallying up, Ethereum has been rallying up, and meanwhile, Ethereum has been having a better rally than Bitcoin. So if you were paying attention to this YouTube channel, if you were inside of the VIP channel, where I've been talking about this quite a lot, I'm not going to talk much about that, but you guys know exactly what's going on. You know, if you were, then you're going to be very well aware that, you know, before this shit even started to pump up, I was telling you guys, look, eyes on Ethereum right here, because this is where the money flows. This is how it goes, right? The money first goes into these big traditional finance markets, then into Bitcoin, then into Ethereum, and then into the shit coins, and then into the absolute shit coins like Pepe and so on. So, you know, obviously exceptions are going to be there here and there, and that's absolutely fine. But, you know, if we do kind of follow the money in that sense, or if the money follows us, because that's really what we want, then we do start putting ourselves in some really, really good positions. I do want to give you guys a very quick ad from one of our sponsors. It's about NFTs. If you guys are interested in it, check it out. If not, don't worry about it. But I do want to share this with you, so I'm going to come right back after that. You guys know that I take a very raw approach to money in these markets, and I'm always looking at these kind of projects that come up in the lens of, can you make money with this realistically? Will it take off? So on and so forth. And XCAD is a project which is actually piggybacking off one of these trends that already exist, where you've got the play to earn, watch to earn trend that's in the market. And these guys have got a very interesting take on it that I wanted to share with you guys. And if you are interested in it, here are the steps on screen. You can actually sign up using the link in the description down below. You've also got a code down there for you to use when you are signing up. And what's actually really interesting about these guys, before I tell you more about them, is that KSI and MrBeast have actually already invested in this project, and I'm going to leave a Cointelegraph link to that article down in the description below. But what we have here is, when you do sign up and use the code in the description, you're going to have access to the play area, and you can actually purchase your NFTs with XCAD, and these are known as nerds. And so as we go on through here, what you're actually going to be able to do is purchase an NFT. You've got 3 different types of nerds. You've got common, mystery, and rare. They each have kind of different, you know, costs associated to them, and so on and so forth. And once you've actually got your NFT here, you can start earning. And here's where things get really interesting. Is this is all about watching videos, your favorite YouTubers that are on this platform, and earning money for it. You can see on screen here I've actually earned $44 from about 5 videos here. You can watch 5 videos per day, and depending on your attribute of your NFT, if we just kind of come back here a little bit, mine's education. If I'm watching educational videos, that's going to have some bonuses associated with it as well. So you've got quite a lot of options available to check out, and you can actually get these tokens just by these payments just by watching 80% of the video, so you don't actually need to finish them as well. Where this gets a little bit more interesting is that you're buying your NFT, but you can also sell it later on. So look, this isn't going to be for everybody, obviously. It's just not going to appeal to everyone out there. But if this is your thing, if you're already watching these YouTubers and you just kind of want to get paid for it, you buy an NFT, you can sell it in the future if this project does well, then it definitely could be something that is interesting to you guys. So I'm going to leave the details to them with the link in the description down below. If you are interested, go ahead and check them out. And with that, let's get straight back to the video. And back to the video, what I want to show you next are our key support indicators. We've already been talking a lot about the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud, and that still remains in broadly the same place. So if Bitcoin gets a pullback now, that is it, guys. I just cannot expect anything other than a miracle to happen at this stage, because we've now got a phenomenal area of support lining up with another phenomenal area of support with this green box that we already had drawn. And so we're starting to build up a lot of confluence here. Our daily EMA ribbon is really, really catching up. I mean, it's very, very close to where we are right now. Just another wick like this would put us right into the EMA ribbon. So granted, still going to be a few $100s below our support areas, but still, I mean, very, very much catching up to where we are right now. On the 4-hour time frame, it's already caught up to us very well, and we've bounced off it phenomenally once again. So, I was telling you it's starting to show a little bit of weakness. I was wrong, and my favorite indicator is proving me wrong is one of my favorite things in my life. So that's absolutely beautiful. So that is continuing to tell me that we're still in the same position here. Things are still looking pretty good, and we're still responding to our support really, really well. So it's all about this resistance level now. All eyes are on this. If we do get a rejection here, I'm probably looking at coming back down to like 30,600. This is where a lot of our resistance was over the last few days. I'm actually interested if we take a fixed range point of control, which is basically just the VPVR, and we stretch it from this candle up to the current day. What are we seeing here? Yeah, so this value area high, basically the high of our VPVR just for this little range here, sits at $30,670, and that is just absolutely beautiful, showing me a lot of confluence here. It's just the most obvious level for Bitcoin to kind of fall down to and then bounce off. We kind of already bounced off this level a little bit, but we've had way more time to establish resistance across these levels here now. So to me, this is definitely going to be an important level to watch for some bounces. And if we do come back down here, I think that's where we could actually punch in another higher low. So that would be absolutely beautiful if we did manage to do so. And I would welcome another pullback. Fuck it. I mean, the more pullbacks we have, the stronger the rally is going to be. And you've seen that very, very well, where we've had an incredibly long drawn out pullback, and then bam, just 8 days, 26% up. So this is the kind of thing that leads to big upward price movements. And so I'm definitely liking the look of that. And I'm going to leave you with that, guys. If you have enjoyed this one, do me a favor and smash up the likes on this YouTube video. You already know the deal. This is the place where you're getting the most realistic, grounded analysis in these markets. We just haven't been wrong. So that's been pretty fun lately. And obviously, I'm going to burn out. I'm going to have my, my problems where I start calling the wrong shots and making the wrong trades. But right now, things are going pretty well, and the markets are responding incredibly well to whatever we've been watching. So I'm not going to change anything. If it's not broken, then don't fix it. I'm quite happy with the way everything's going right now. The forms of analysis, the way we're developing our skills in these markets has been going very, very well within the 𝗧𝗪𝗧 VIP group, and so on. So I'm pretty excited by this. If you are missing out on the action, then you already know what to do. Head on to the links in the description down below, and also check out the 𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗔𝗡 Telegram channel with this link in the description. This is more free analysis from myself and my team, posted straight to your phone as a notification. So very, very cool indeed. One last time for a reminder, no KYC and over $1,000 in bonuses with BingX using the link in the description down below, and access to all of these markets, which quite frankly are much more fun than crypto a lot of the time, with leverage, with Bitcoin only. So just super cool. I mean, with crypto, but you know, you don't have to deposit like real money onto the exchange. Real money, Bitcoin is real money. What am I talking about? You already know. And then Bybit, of course, you know, still the best exchange in the game. There's no doubt about it. This is where all the serious traders are. And you know, with Binance closing up in a lot of jurisdictions, if you are interested in an alternative, then good news for you. You actually have a chance to upgrade. So there you go, up to $30,000 in free money when you sign up and start trading using my link in the description down below. So well worth checking out. And with that, guys, I'm going to see you all in the very next video. Cheers.